everybody. I'm Lori Cadden, and this is Talk of the Town. And we are here at a place that should be the talk of the town. This place is beautiful. We are at Indraloka Animal Sanctuary with one guy who's one of my all-time faves for many years, and a new favorite that I just met, and I love her, Sarah Thornton, who's the education director here at Indraloka, and Johnny Braz, who is the creative director, correct, John?
Correct.
Here
Correct.
at Indraloka. And this place is magical. Look around this building, this old barn. John, how old is this barn about?
It's almost 120 years old.
And they've done some updating and some fixing to bring it up to speed because events take place here or will take when everything's lifted. Art classes, just so many different things. I walked in, I could live here. I said to Mark, this is where we should shoot all the time and have everyone come to us. It's in Dalton. It's beautiful. The ride up was so easy and so peaceful. And then you come in here. It's gorgeous. Pictures of the animals are all over, as you can see. They're so beautiful. Mark's going to show you a couple. What's that pig's name again, Johnny?
That's Eddie Traffic.
Eddie, I love him. And the cows and the roosters and the ducks and everybody is here. Everybody. This place is incredible. And as I said when I came in, I absolutely love farm animals. Love them, love them. You wouldn't think this city gal would be so farm animal happy, but I am. So, and I think everybody's sort of farm animal happy here. So, Sarah, I'm going to start over here with you. Tell me a little bit about your pen pal program, all of the stuff that you do from an education standpoint. This place is beautiful. So congratulations. It's so much fun. I can't imagine. I want to teach with you.
Oh, thank you so much. It is absolutely a blast. We have worked with over 500 children this year in a pen pal program where the kids have written to the animals and the animals write back in a unique voice. It's been incredible to see the variance of ages because the little guys have been writing letters just to see what their favorite colors are, what games the animals like to play. We've had high school students writing about novels that they've had to read. And so they've, instead of having to write essays and things like that, their teachers have had them actually write to the animals and talk about the animals that they relate to best in the different stories. So really incredible. We've had a School for the Blind writing from Texas. And they've been writing in Braille, which has been absolutely remarkable.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah, completely unbelievable. And on top of it, they had a virtual tour today.
Yeah.
And so they couldn't see the screen, but they relied on my explanation of touching the snout of a pig's nose feels a little bit rubbery and cold, and sometimes it's warm, and the way they move around and the way their hair feels. And just incredible the way that they were able to connect and engage for a good 45 minutes without ever even seeing the screen.
But Sarah, don't you think it's so important then when you're teaching a blind class, the terminology you use, the descriptions that you're using, makes it, they can imagine it then, because the right words, and I can tell by your enthusiasm when I tell you I just met her 10 minutes ago, I love her already. But that comes across, and that they can see it because they can believe what you're telling them, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's just amazing.
Absolutely. And the words make such a difference, and the enthusiasm makes a huge difference. And on top of it, I am lucky to also teach music in a public school district. So the kids played their favorite song, which happened to be We Will Rock You. And one of the goats started actually dancing on camera.
Oh, my God.
While the kids were playing their favorite song. So their teacher was yelling, "The goat is dancing! The goat is dancing!" It was just phenomenal.
Oh, I love it. Johnny.
Yeah. I'm going to take the microphone.
Sarah, thank you.
I wanted to add one thing.
Yeah,
Sarah is such an incredible writer and storyteller that you can see that because that's a big component of what we do here. We want to share the animal stories. We want people to fall in love with them in our portrait gallery, just like we did. And so we don't just rescue animals here. We want to be something that's involved with the community, that we can share with the community, invite them in. We have this place here to do events. If anyone ever wants to do an event here, you can rent it out. The capacity is 200 people.
Is that what it is?
It's 200.
Great.
So, I mean, I'll go back up a little bit. Indraloka means heaven for the gods in Sanskrit. So it's kind of like heaven for animals, but we also then want people to know that we want the community to come. We want to share it with the community. We want to show them how special the animals are. And Laurie's coming here to help us spread that word.
I'm not kidding you. I could build a house right there and stay here. It's Seriously, it is like when you pull up here, you could just see it. You could just see the hills and the different buildings and how the animals are taken care of and what you want to do, like being in here, understanding, John, what all of this stuff represents and how you teach people from the education, from an educational standpoint. Do you also show the respect and what an animal, the purpose that they're here for, and yes, you're not just that, but let's face it, the care you take of these beautiful creatures is doing God's work. So how do you then take that and make it, get the public to understand, who may not be in love with a cow or whatever, they may want, it's not for them to understand the depth of these animals.
I think at the core, when you spend time with them, just like with your dog or your cat, you realize that they have personalities. You realize that they're smart. You realize that they have choices. You realize that they're fun to hang out with and they're interesting. So, you know what I mean? So it all starts there. And then the more we did that and the more kids came, we saw the magic kind of happening. It kind of just, these are rescued animals, so they kind of may remember their little dark past, but now they're here free. They don't have anything worry about. They have all their needs met. They're here for the rest of their natural lives. I'm going to hand the mic over to Sarah to talk more about that educational aspect of your question, because I think she'd have a lot to say about it.
Go ahead, Sarah.
I do. That's a wonderful question. And what we have found is that kids who have gone through trauma or have had difficult experiences are often not able to talk about that, or they're able to not find the right adult to work with in order to heal and to move forward. And we find that when they come here to meet with the animals, they inevitably meet an animal who has experienced something very similar to them, whether it's abuse, neglect, whether an animal is particularly hungry and a child has not had enough food. And when they are able to make that connection, they see a brightness. You can see it happen the moment that connection occurs, and they feel heard. The kids feel heard, and they automatically, it doesn't matter if it's a cow or if it's a cat or if it's a duck, they make that connection and they realize in that moment that someone else understands who they are, and they relate to that difficulty, and they grow and they move past that.
And I have a question about that, because in the reverse of that, do the rescued animals, do you feel, sort of understand too? There's an understanding, like if I look at some of the faces of these animals, and they were all here or are here, they tell a story just looking in their face like a human being. So they must get something profoundly as important as the opposite, Sarah, right? Because they're animals, you can't necessarily tell, but there's got to be some sign of something that they get so much more out of the response from the kids and people who love them, or who are learning to love them.
Absolutely, they do. There's no question about that. There are certain animals who look forward to having kids here. And in the last year with COVID and with things happening, it's been very clear that the animals have missed having kids around. We have one particular sheep. His name is Marble. And he connects, first of all, with adults who happen to be scared of animals.
Okay.
And he knows who to approach if somebody is afraid to come into an area, and he'll take it very slowly, and he'll focus on just that one adult. But with kids, we found that he connects particularly with children on the autism spectrum. And he will leave snacks, he will leave treats, he will leave the people he knows and loves to go to that one child. And inevitably, it's a child who is not able to communicate in a traditional way. So that child may not be able to voice, I'm feeling hot right now. We had that happen. Mm-hmm. A child who was getting sunburned, he went and he stood over that child, and we couldn't figure out, what is he doing?
Shade,
Marble
giving
was
him
connecting,
shade.
but we realized, oh my goodness, he's providing shade. He realized that child was hot. He realized the needs before that child was able to voice anything. Really phenomenal. And I do believe, I believe that Marble gets so much from that as well. The child gets a huge amount, but there's no question that Marble feels the gratitude coming from the child, as well as the experience of making those connections.
I just think it's amazing. And there's so many special needs children here, to let them know. So this is another way for us to let the public know that if you are in a school and you have these types that you deal with, and you are blessed to be with children who have special needs, some of these things, this kind of an outing, this kind of an interaction, whether it's virtual now or however you have to do it, that's something you should think about doing. Because, John, and Sarah, you can say this, either one is what I mean. From a field trip standpoint, now that's obviously been put to rest for a while. But now things are coming out. Sarah, you just did a virtual one. How do people do that? How can they get information? Do they just call? What's the best way for people watching to be able to do that?
We'd like to drive all the traffic to our website, indraloka.org. There you'll be able to see all the events listed for the rest of the season through the fall. You'll be able to sign up and see the different events we have. We have camps going on. We have a lot of volunteer opportunities. I didn't want to leave out the rest of the people, even though we do cater to the young. We have programs for all ages. We have opportunities for all ages, which include volunteering, coming in and just hanging out with the animals, visiting, bringing the kids over. There's lots of different, which we call Nurture and Nourish programs that we hold every Saturday throughout the year. Sarah runs most of those. There's just so much to do here. There's
and
a lot of
what about the
opportunities.
painting and stuff?
Well,
Painting
some of those
classes.
are rolled into the workshops and the classes we
Okay.
do, but we're also developing, now that things are opening up
That
again.
you can do lots more.
We are definitely adding more events all the time. I wanted to make sure that we knew that this wasn't just limited to children. That
No.
everybody
We were going to
gains
get
the
there.
same
Yeah,
kind of joy
absolutely.
from the animals.
John, if someone rents this, say for a wedding, do you have specific caterers? Can they bring their own, or is that still being worked on?
Every event is different.
Okay.
Sometimes people want to bring their own caterer. Sometimes it depends on, but we offer full service.
So you're right.
Yep, from photography to so each event's unique, but we can work and the capacity here is 200, I think I mentioned,
Yep.
and then there's all sorts of events, small events. You can pretty much do whatever you want here.
Well, I love it. Anything else you need to say before we wrap?
Sarah. There you go.
Sarah's like, I have something.
We are so lucky to be hosting youth programming again. So we have not only the single day events, we do have summer camps where kids can come and spend the whole day with the animals. We do art, we are active outdoors, we do nature hikes, all sorts of different things. So they're busy all day long. We provide lunch. We have lots of spaces still available. We have 1 week in June, July, and August. For people who may live a little bit further away or aren't available throughout the week, we also have Saturday events that are filled the same way. So they have all the arts and crafts, puzzles, games, all of the interactive things you can imagine, plus the animal snuggles as well. So we have a lot going on, and we are open to field trips. Again, we follow all of the regulations that are needed for that. But we're really excited to have those started again.
Well, good. This is wonderful. John, I'm thrilled. I'm proud of you.
Thank
God
you.
knows we go way back
yeah.
from jazz on down,
Scranton Jazz
20-some
Fest.
years ago.
I just want to
20.
thank you so much for spotlighting us and for being interested in this kind of work. We really want to share it with the community. It's been now I think it's a time where people are hopefully going to wanting to be getting back outside again and doing outdoor things, nature hikes, walks in the woods, hanging out with the animals, spending time. So thank you for helping us
we're
get the
thrilled
word
to
out.
do it.
That really means a lot.
We're thrilled. Keep up the good work.
Yep. Well, and because you're also so good to us, hang on, Sarah. Because you do collect roosters, I
Yes,
understand.
I do. I'm a
All
big
right.
rooster
All right,
fan.
Hang on. So we wanted to present you. I know you wanted
I
the
love
smaller
it.
version.
I love
And
them.
this is one of my portraits with a little bit of a digital effect on it, and so I wanted to present this to you. I hope you have a big enough.
I
spot
will
in your
find a place. Believe me. Oh my God, I love him. He's just added to my collection. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
That's so wonderful
You're
and so
welcome.
nice to meet Sarah Thornton, who is the Director of Education, and Johnny Braz, who is the Creative Director here at Indraloka Animal Sanctuary in Dalton at 333 Oak, is it Avenue Lane Drive in Dalton. So come and see them, call them, bring your children, bring your adults, bring your mothers, your fathers, anybody, and come and see this place. It's spectacular. And thank you for listening and paying attention and watching. And we'll see you again soon. I'm Lori Cadden, and this is Talk of the Town.